Hi, I'm Amber with The Place Together, and today we are going to do an episode of It's in the Details. I haven't done an episode of this in a while, and I've done a few, so you can go back on the playlist, and there is a playlist dedicated to it, and you can go watch the other ones. Today we're going to be talking about books and bookcases. I really believe you can have books in any room. If it's in the bathroom, just make sure it's ventilated. But every other room should be able to hold books, and you don't have to do them in the way that everyone else does. But I do believe a bookcase should have books on it. I love it when people do decor, but I think the primary basis should be books. That's just me. And I like to see the spine of a book. I don't like when they're turned around. Again, that's just me. If it's your style to be more minimal, I understand why that works for some. But today we are going to go through a bunch of things I saved on Pinterest, and I'll tell you why I saved them, what made me like them. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we have this first one, which is it looks like an entryway, and I love this one because it's so simple, but it's great, especially if you don't have room for bookshelves. You can find room for bookshelves anywhere or a bookcase, but if this is like you want it in there, but you really don't want to put shelving in. And I love that these are huge, oversized books. They would need to be bigger books. You wouldn't want small paperback under here. But I love how this looks. It's almost like they used them as where we would use baskets that used books instead. And I love that look. This next one is great for if you like to change things a lot. It's also very inexpensive and makes a huge statement. I do believe this might be Ariel Bassett's room. I don't know though. It's not showing who it's from, but well, maybe not. But she has that same type here. And these are just strips that you put on the wall on your studs, and then these little shelves go into it, and you can hang wood or set wood on top of them and make them whatever length or shape you want. It's really cool, and that's great. It's cost effective. Next one is this wonderful an entry bookshelf, and I love that it's multicolored and it's just brown, and it just gives the room texture and depth. This again it looks like maybe a buffet for a dining room or in between rooms in a hallway or something. But I love how they put the books this way, and it's on both shelves. And I will say this probably looks so good to me because they are in stacks, and it's very symmetrical. I don't think it would work if they were in rolls. So maybe it would, but I'd have to see it. But I really like the way this looks. It looks very organized. And it goes great with, you can tell there's symmetry in this room. This is not necessarily an eclectic room. This is very symmetrical with the grid pattern gallery wall, and everything is gridded out. Even the books up here, they look wonderful. Here, it looks like they have used it as a room divider, I'm sorry. Looks like they've used it as a room divider, which is a very good, easy way to do that. Like just get a shelf, a low profile shelf, fill that sucker, fill it. This next one, I believe these are called library or lawyer bookcases. There's, their general use was to have law books in there for lawyers, I believe. I don't know, but now they're pretty popular. A lot of people use them as bar carts, which is a great idea. Or, a cocktail table. But in here, you don't want dust on your books. There you go. That's a great way. Glass. This one I love. I love it. I love it. I love it. This reminds me almost like wallpaper. It's in a non-traditional bookshelf. This is usually like what I would think people would use to put decor on. But they filled this where there is no gaps. This was very intentional. Like it looks like it's just on there, but it's intentional. I guarantee you. These are all the same height without leaving gaps, and it makes it look like a focal point, like a wallpaper, and I love that. This one, if you don't have a bookshelf or a room, or if you're wanting it in the bathroom or in the kitchen or a cute place in your bedroom, windowsills, guys, they're so cute. They look so good. I have one window that is an extra long sill, and I can put larger books on that, but all the rest of them are standard, and just put smaller books. Just put your paperbacks, put the small ones, you know, the little devotionals, things like that. Those will work great on windowsills. We have this one, small, kind of looks mid-century modern to me, but it is packed to the brim. See these going, if you could tell, it's like an S. You know, it has a wave to it. Like these are on the left-hand side are stacked, then rolled and rolled and rolled, and then if you go to the bottom right, it's stacked again, which kind of gives it a flow, and it looks really nice. But you know, you don't have to go overboard. But these books, well, there are books all over there. Didn't see those, but this is great. Well, then we have this. Let's pretend that bookshelf is not there, but this right here, wonderful. Set that on the side of a console table, use it as a nightstand, have it in a corner somewhere. I love this look, and you don't have to buy anything. Probably have a chair sitting around. This is cool because this is like an upstairs loft or landing. But you don't, you know, if you have a space that you're not sure what to do with, that is just kind of like in a nook somewhere or something. Fill that sucker with books. It's going to look good. Put a chair, a lamp, you're done. That's good. Again, on the kitchen counters or on the kitchen windowsill, put some cookbooks. Love this idea. It's so clean and crisp, and if you have a window in there, I love that. I mean, it looks like they're on something here. It looks like bookends, but I think that is lovely. One of my favorite things ever, and if I could have it one day I will, is a bookshelf or books, a wall of books in a dining room. I love it so much. I love the backdrop of books in a dining room. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I'll show you my favorite room ever. This is my favorite dining room. This is from Rita Koenig. She worked with Gil Schaefer, who's an architect, and this room stunned me when I first opened it because it is so incredibly simple, but it is so complex. Like it has everything that you need. It has texture, everything, but it's very, very simple. If you could tell, everything on the floor is very minimal. Like the wooden legs hit the floor, the wooden legs on the chair in the back hit the floor, but your eye is drawn all the way through, and this line of this pulls your eyes. See the way they're so clever, which is this one's Gil doing this part. The wood slats going this way lead your eye back, and the way that this ceiling slants, and they made it white instead of painting it the other color, it brings your eyes, they're both bringing your eyes to the same spot, which is that window in the back. And if you're looking at that window in the back, you're looking at the bookshelves. It's absolutely beautiful. And then of course they have a gallery wall, and we all know how I feel about a gallery wall. Love them. But it's so simple, and it's not too busy, and it just is such a lovely room. I just love this room. Okay, I think this is really cool. You know, you have a wide hallway, line the bottom with books. That's a really cool idea for, I don't know who has a wide hallway. I don't, but you know, most are standard size, but if you do, that's a great idea. Basic, these look like floating shells, but this is really, really cute. This would look cute in a living room or an office, a bedroom. This is just shelves on shelves on shelves, and it's filled with, you know, they use this entire shelf to put decor instead of books, but the way they've treated it, it looks really good, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. This is amazing. This looks like it's in the back of, it looks like it's in the back of a living room probably. I love this shelf. And you could tell its original intent was probably to store plates or linens or something, but this is just beautiful. And I like that they stacked the top to the brim. And the other part is basically just styled so that this becomes a header up top. And I love that. And I love that there's layers, like the chairs are in front of it, so it gives it all dimension. It has a reason to be there. It's lovely. This is great. I love this. This is the back of a couch. If you have 2 rooms or a wide open space and you're wanting some definition, this is a great idea. Do this. Built-ins, if you have a little more money, a little more skill, you can do this yourself. It does still cost. It does cost, but to have a wall of built-in shelves, love it. Absolutely love it. Money. Cost money. This is another thing I want to show you. Like this, you could have a stylish bookcase. It doesn't have to be built in. I bet though that bookshelf is probably, unless you could find it at some sort of flea market or yard sale or something, that's probably pretty expensive, but it has a lot of style to it. And you can see everything around it's pretty simple because what is on that is the focal point and it's busy on it. But then the photos above it are stacked, you know, in a very orderly fashion. The table's very minimal. I don't see a rug, but I mean, everything else is minimal because that's the focus. That's great. It looks wonderful. And then if you have the space, and this is my goal one day, you can do over the top of it a walkway, or make a bookshelf that goes, or a bookcase that goes all around a bookcase or all around a door case. And oh my gosh, they look so good. That really looks very custom. Ooh, look at that. Look at that, guys. And that's not built in. That's a big hutch on the back wall. That looks like it used to be an entertainment center. You know, that with our big TVs that used to have to set on something. That looks like that they converted and put some doors on the middle and put it in a dining room. That is a very great idea, which might not be what that was done, but that's a really good idea. Let's see. Again, look at this. Okay, this looks like, you know, a lot of people who have, when they come off your stairs, you have a little area. And if it's not really enough room to make anything functional out of it, make it a library. I mean, look at this. This is so narrow here, they have one book all the way up. But this whole thing looks like a whole wall treatment. It looks like wallpaper or a living wall treatment. I love that. Because to me, books are living. I mean, they're wonderful. But they went from one side all the way up and down the other. I mean, this is a great example of use all the space you have. Use it all. Another lovely. I love this color. I love this color so much. I'm going to incorporate it in the house somewhere. Just gotta figure out where. I think I know, but holding off just to wait and see. But anyway, on my Pinterest board, this books and bookcases will be open to the public, so you can see all the sources here. You can pin them yourself. You can look through all the ideas that I had. Not that I had, all the ones that I loved and pinned. I hope this gives you some ideas on what to do in your room and how to incorporate books. I'm going to put a couple little pictures on my house on a few places where I have books in random places, and I hope you have a wonderful week and weekend, and I will see you next Friday.